maybe just let me know if you can see that.
Yep.
Yep. Perfect. All right. So this is just a little go-to guide, your journey as a health and freedom advocate. I like to call it health and freedom advocate because that's what I think of this journey as for me, but you can define it in your own terms as far as what it means to you. But it truly is a gift. I think about it and I think about this journey and this lifestyle, and I just cannot even, put into words what it means to me. And so if I think that this is like the best job, and it's hard to even think of it as a job because it is so much fun, but thinking about this and what we have to offer. And so whenever I put it into words, this is usually like I think about health, and what this journey to me is freedom. So that's freedom in so many different ways. And so I think of it that way. But you can hear it, health and fitness coach, wellness coach, whatever that means to you. This is just a little travel guide, kind of help you through it. First things first, I love this job because really there is no cookie cutter coach. And those of you that follow other coaches, you probably already realized this, that there are, even looking at the top 10 coaches in the network, you will see ones with tattoos and nose rings, and you will see ones that are like, beauty pageant winners, whatever, Miss Virginia we have, and Miss Venezuela, and all different ones. And it's just like, there are ones with huge weight loss transformations and some with no weight loss transformation. Their transformation was a completely different story. And you have ones that have a lot of support, so ones with an upline coach and some that don't. So they're pretty much just starting from scratch. And so it's really awesome, and I think of that as very freeing in itself, in that this is really an opportunity for you to be you and run with it, because you don't have to be confined into a little box. Like, you can really be you and own it. And that's what people are going to fall in love with. That's how you're going to find your tribe, because they're going to be attracted to you. Like I've said before, these products pretty much sell themselves. So it's not a matter of that. Like, they work. We know they work. People can just go and, buy them on the website. That's fine. But what they can't buy is you. And so what people are actually buying into is you and what you have to offer, and your story, your journey, your inspiration. And so that's how, defining that and what that means to you is really, really important. And so I said it like early on, and even really I've heard top 10 coaches say this as well. It's really quite easy to get in the comparison game. And so you see what is working for one person and you think, well, I have to be like that. I have to do that. And it's really not the case, because the coolest thing about this journey is there's so many different roads that lead to the same path. So you really find which one works for you, and you really just stay true to you throughout this journey, and find what works best for you. So you may, and we talked about this last training, some people have gained huge success using a like page to find their tribe and attract their tribe. A lot of people are using Instagram now, Facebook, and different avenues, blogs, things like that. And so it's really not cut and dry. So you don't really have to think, well, I'm not very good at Instagram. I know nothing about it. There are so many different ways to find your tribe, but you're not going to be able to attract your tribe if you aren't being true to you. And so I usually say, get in touch with your passions, your interests, and try to narrow it down to maybe 5 or 6 things that really are interest to you. Because I was reading and I saw this one, I guess it was kind of like a marketing thing, where they said, if you are trying to relate to everybody, if you're trying to appeal to everybody, you're going to weaken your message, and it's not going to end up identifying or relating to anyone specifically. So really get in tune with who you feel you can help most. We all have a story. We all have something that maybe we overcame. We have our own health and fitness journey. And so really getting and narrowing in on that. And then, like I said, choosing like 5 or 6 interests. So maybe it wasn't fitness that someone was initially attracted to, like in my case, but it was the fact that maybe they had an eating disorder at one point. And so I can relate to them in that way. And then they watch and see, oh, well, you know what, maybe I will join and do this health and fitness program with her then. Or maybe it's, Michelle, I know that you have dogs, and you have, you know, like different people are going to be attracted to that. And so it may not be fitness necessarily at first, but they're attracted to that part, and then that builds community and that builds connection, and then it leads to other things. So really just being true to you and your interests, and it doesn't always have to be fitness, nutrition all the time, but really, you know, really just share your passions and what is true to you, and then that's how you build your tribe, because you connect and relate and attract people just like you, which is super fun. Okay, next, going on this journey, being very clear cut as to where do you want to go. The coolest thing is here is that you are literally the leader. And if you're not the leader of your own life, there's something wrong there. So if you are trying to follow someone else's footsteps, or you're trying to be like someone else, it's just not going to work. So this is so cool, and it's freeing in that you are literally right there steering wheel. You know, God gave you this ability, these passions, you know, your life for a reason, and he's planted that desire and that passion in your life for a reason. So it's so cool that he's given us, you know, here we are steering wheel, where do we want to go with it? And I say dream big, because why not? Like, this is your life. You literally get to choose where you want to go with it. And it's so, I think that is the most coolest, like most freeing thing, is to literally, you know, look out there and make this a playground. Where do you want to go? Like, what do you want to do? And dream big, and really get asking yourself, like, why not you? So when you think about that, I know with the fitness journey, mountains seem high in front of you. You're like, that mountain seems really far away, and it seems really, really high. Think of this very much like your fitness journey, and you know that it takes, you know, sometimes it's minute by minute, sometimes it is day by day, but all those steps add up. And as you get closer and closer to that mountain, and closer to the top, you know, you are just, you look back and you see how far you go. Like, Michelle, you sent me those photos today, and I'm like, oh my gosh. It's just like so cool, because you see that, and it really is so neat, the mountains that you can climb. And I love your cover photo where it's like, girl, you can do hard things. And it's like, yes, we can. And that is so cool, because you're, you know, you're leading that, and you are a huge example of that. And it's so cool, because it's truly limitless. And I love that mentality. And so here I have, to whom much is given, much is required. And so when we look at this, and we look at this business, and we look at all the people out there that can use this and do need our help and could use our help, it's like, to whom much is given, much is required. We've been given this awesome blessing. We've been given this opportunity, and it's just so neat, because you look at the top coaches, and it's like they didn't get there by accident. And so depending on where that destination from the last slide is, you really got to get real with yourself and think about it. Okay, is my energy going to match that? And so I think about that, and I think about, you know, I'm actually sometimes with the health journey, for instance, you know, you want to be a certain size, you want to be a number on a scale, you want to be that, but like, how cool is it that that doesn't happen immediately? You know, at first you think, I wish it did, but when you think back on it, it's a really good thing that it doesn't, because of all the strength that comes during the process, during the journey. Like, God is making us who we need to be that person. And so I think about it, and I'm like, if I want to be a top 10 coach, I have to be molded and made into who that needs to be able to maintain that level. And so it's the same with our fitness journeys. If we were just given that immediately, we wouldn't have that willpower. We wouldn't have that strength. We wouldn't have the knowledge of what works, what doesn't. And so it's so important to just really look at where we want to go and see if our energy and our effort matches that. And so if we want to be, you know, at the top of that mountain, then we have to also be real with ourselves and know that that's going to take effort, consistency, hard work. And so here on our journeys, refueling. And so I like to think about it, I like to travel, and that's part of one of my 5 interest things is traveling. So this kind of has that theme, but I know for me, it makes me remember, like, okay, what am I fueling myself with? And that's mind, body, and soul. And so in our groups, like, we talk about this a lot, but choosing high octane. And of course, that is our nutrition and our fitness. And so body fuels there is number 1. If you want to be successful at this, it's really going to be important that you commit to a program and you follow through, because we are leaders. And as leaders, we need to be product of the product. We need to show and be that leading example that, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what it's done for me. And that also builds confidence, because you are seeing what it does to you in your own life, and through it. And there it says, underneath it says, it builds more strength than we will ever know. Like, because there's so much happening that you can't see on a scale, you can't see in the mirror. It's just really awesome. But that's part of that refueling, is getting that workout in. And so I know I talked about this last week, where it's so easy when you begin to coach that you want to put your effort and energy into others. And that, I will promise you, will lead to burnout if you forget to refuel. And so if you forget about you and yourself. And so it's so easy to get caught up in other people and wanting them to succeed. But honestly, the very best way to do that is by you leading by example. And so you taking care of yourself and making sure that you put yourself first. And so that's committing to a program, getting your workout in, nutrition in, mind fuel. We talk a lot about this too. And I know, Michelle, I was talking to you about that, how you are going to a conference this weekend. And I thought that was the coolest thing, like marriage. That is so important and so critical. And that just continuing education, just wanting to grow and learn. And so there's tons of podcasts, training, conferences, events, webinars, all out there. I'm going to go over a few of my favorites in a little bit. But that mind fuel, and even if it's just 10 pages a day, or a podcast while you're, putting on your makeup or cleaning, whatever, that adds up. And I will say that's probably the biggest thing as far as my transformation, is the mind game there. And then soul fuel, and that's prayer, meditation, and just taking time for quiet, some quiet time for you, like you time. And there's lots of affirmations. There's even apps on your phone that you can have that will send you affirmations throughout the day. Lots of cool stuff out there. Like, we literally have it all at our fingertips to help us succeed. So that's that. Bags are packed. So cool. Our bags are packed for us. So we are equipped with the best gear possible to climb the highest of mountains. So it's really, when I say dream big, I mean it, dream big, because we literally, we have everything it takes to succeed in this business. The Coach Online Office. So this is either mobile now. We do have it mobile, and you have it, of course, via the website. But that has everything there. I call that the hub, because I would say that's your go-to. It's going to be so huge if you want to run this as a business and really be a professional at this and go full-time, however that looks for you. It's really important to know this kind of inside and out. So they revamped it, actually, so it's pretty clear cut. But you have all your options there about growing your business, monitoring your business. That's where you'll see your new customers, your leads, recognition. This business does a mighty job with recognition, incentives and prizes and trips and everything for you. Events, a lot of community events. So we have, it's called Super Saturday every quarter. So there's one of those every 4 months, or 3 months. Every 3 months. Super Saturdays, Super Sundays sometimes. That's a fun way to get involved, and that's usually they do a community workout and fun stuff like that. Training, the training library is going to be where you have pretty much everything that you need right there at any level you are in this business. So we're all continuing, whether we're diamonds, whether we are executive leaders, superstar, like wherever, there's training in there for everybody to get you to wherever you want to be. So I would just say start there, really learn and know that inside out, because pretty much every answer is, I would have to say every answer is right there at our fingertips. The one here on the left where it says Legacy Foundation, that's a new coach training. So I highly recommend getting in that. That's not Facebook related. So it will send an email to you. And that is from Top Leader. So that's Lindsay and Bonnie Engel's new coach training. I have done my own, but it's basically the same as that. So why reinvent the wheel? So this will also be what you will give your coaches as they join your team if you want, because this is the top of the top. It has everything there for you. And it's kind of a self-paced training. So it gets emailed to you, and that's reminders of where you need to be, and that kind of keeps you on track. So that's a great resource as well. Next one, National Wake Up Calls are every Monday morning, but they are also recorded. So those are that was one of the things when I first started, and I still to this day, make it a non-negotiable to listen to those, because that's going to be number one, any updated information from the CEO, usually monthly promotions, what's going on. And then it's always some sort, usually a top coach or a successful coach. Sometimes now they've started new coaches that are really, succeeding very well. But it's a training to hear exactly from them what's working. It's very up to date. What's working today? What can you apply today to help? So really, this is a community, and I'd say that's probably one of the top things I love about this is the community, and everybody really wants everybody else to succeed. There's really no scarcity in success, and so it's so neat to hear everybody just trying to help everybody else out. And yeah, so they share tips, and those are, I always mark that on my calendar to try to make the National Wake Up Call. So that's every Monday. It's 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then if you have a pen and paper, I'd write these down. The Coach FAQ is located on Team Beachbody homepage, and even as customers. So even before you were a coach, you may have used this. It's a little magnifying, or it's a question mark. Gabe, do you know what it is? Is it a question mark?
Like on the
homepage, the FAQ, or does it just say FAQ?
I think it just says FAQ in the top.
Yeah.
And
okay.
On the bottom as well.
Oh yeah, and on the bottom. And so when you click on that, it gives you different choices. I always click on the one that says chat now. So you're speaking to someone. Of course you can just call in anytime too. But if you have a question and you're not quite sure, that's an immediate way to get an answer. So Coach FAQ is one way. But as far as information and lots of fun, up-to-date things like Summit. So Michelle, I'll be talking to you about Summit. It's a huge event. Lots of different things. Beachbody Champions Facebook page. So if you just type in Beachbody Champions and join that one, that's a really good one. And Team Beachbody Coach 411 will give you so much information to help you for success as well. So those are the pages I recommend, because it can get pretty crazy with all the websites, trainings, and things like that. So those are two that I recommend being a part of, because that would just give you updates pretty much daily. And then coaching books. So this is specifically for as a coach. GoPro is amazing. So if you have not read that one, I have it on audio, but I just bought it to have a hard copy. I suggest a hard copy because it has templates and scripts in it to help you. So that is on network marketing specifically, and it has such good information in it. So I highly recommend that. Actually, if you hit Success Club this month, I'm sending you that book, or You Are a Badass. You can pick either one, but I might just send you both. High Performance Habits is another one highly recommended. So those are really good. But actually, Gabe, how we talked about last week, maybe choosing a book and kind of going through it together. I think GoPro would be an awesome one.
I haven't done that one.
It just hits everything to a T, like objections, time management, all of that, like all of it's in there, and it's so good. It's so relatable to what we do. So maybe we can do that as a group and kind of chapter by chapter break it down, because that one is really, really good. So I highly recommend that. Next thing, travel buddies, who you are going to be going on this journey with. And so I love Jim Rohn. We are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. And so this was something that I had to get real with myself when I first started, but the law of association. And this kind of happens naturally, actually, and I thought about this throughout the process. You will see people come and go through in and out of your life, but this associating with toxic people is going to be so important. And you will see people maybe start to unfollow you because you're too positive, or they just, and you know what, at first, like, that bothered me because I'm just like, oh, I want everybody to love me. I want everybody to like me. But it's actually, that's actually a gift. You know, it's actually a blessing, because you're going to find that you are going to be attracting into your life the most amazing people. Like, I have found the most amazing friendships through this community, through this job, and through this journey. And so please don't even waste a second, an ounce of energy on anybody that ends up leaving or hopping out of the car, because trust me, you will have a car full of the most amazing people to have the most fun with and travel on this journey with. So that's going to be one thing I just, suggestion there is really choose wisely your travel buddies, because that's going to make a difference. Mentors, leaders. Now, that doesn't even have to be a mentor specifically that you know. Like, you can use, like, Jim Rohn, for example, is one of mine. I consider him a mentor because I've listened to pretty much every one of his podcasts and things. There are a lot of, Tony Robbins and people like that. But I also do suggest finding mentors and leaders within our business as well, and specifically a success partner. So what that is somebody kind of in a similar start point of you. So maybe if you just started out, it's someone else that maybe just started out as a coach as well, but also someone that has the same goals. So I know that not everybody has a goal of being a top 10 coach or making 6 figures with this. But I would suggest finding someone that does have the same goals as you do, so that you're kind of on the same path, because you don't want somebody kind of hindering you. So if you're dreaming big, go with someone else that's dreaming big and just run with it. So success partners, you can find them in those groups that I mentioned before, like Beachbody 411, just connect with other people. A lot of our trainings, even on our team. So I know Gabe has some new coaches as well. So even within our own team, you can find a success partner. And basically what that is, I recommend meeting like this, one-on-one, or getting a few, that's fine too, where you touch base every week and you really hold each other accountable. So, did you get your workouts in? Are you staying true? Do you have a book that you're reading, or do you have some sort of mind fuel that you are using? Just touching base on how it's going. Maybe you want to run a group together. Maybe you want to bounce some things off and you're not quite sure how to invite, or what do you think about this post, or should I include this in here? Like, all of those things, we all do it. We all bounce it off of each other. And we even do love bombs. So I don't know if you know what that is, but if you have a post specifically, and Michelle, I was going to do it with yours, I didn't want to overwhelm you. But basically, when you have something like Michelle, where you mentioned about, hey, I'm going to be doing this. If you want to join me, you can just, I'm going to be setting up a group and all that. So if you have a specific post like that you want to get a lot of traction, you want to get it out there, Facebook has algorithms now where it's like sometimes only like 25 people will actually even get to see what you write, just because of algorithms. So if people comment right away, or like your post right away, it gets it out there and it shoots it out there to more of yours. So if there's ever anything like that, and Gabe, you and anybody listening to this call, anything specifically, when you do those specific posts, shoot me a message, and I'm a whole love bomb crew to go down through, and they will just bomb it up, you know, and then that way it gets cycled through, and more people. So just let me know, and that's a really good way to get it from, because a lot of times we have really good content, but because of the way algorithms work, not very many people get to see it or hear it. And so when you have something like that specifically that you want to get out there, and it's kind of time sensitive, let me know. Let anyone in our group know, and you can just say, hey, I need some love on this post or something, and we'll all go down through and get some traction going on it. Let's see. Say cheese. So enjoy the journey. That's going to be huge. Have fun with it. Same with what we really, really emphasize in our fitness journey is falling in love with the process. And it's the same with coaching, and it's so neat how they both correlate and can work together. But enjoying the journey, falling in love with it, knowing that it doesn't happen overnight, just knowing that you can't do it wrong. And that was one thing, I didn't know that at the beginning. And so I had paralysis of analysis because I was so afraid of doing things wrong that I just didn't do anything. And that's basically the worst thing that you can do. So it's so freeing to know that, like, you really can't do this wrong. Like I mentioned before, there are 50 million roads that lead to the same destination. So if you want to try this one for a little bit and then take a detour and try this one for a little bit, go for it. Find what works, find what you love, and what's going to make this fun. And so capture, record, journal, and share your adventure. And that's what this is about. Just like, you know, just people don't want to see perfection. You know, they want to see the journey. They're going to be watching you. And I know we talked about this last call or the call before about how even people you have no idea are watching you. And so I've had people say that, you know, they're like, I read every single one of your posts. And I'm like, I never liked any of them, you know, but people are watching, and they are. And so when you take on this role as a coach, as a leader, you know, what a cool opportunity it is. And so really share authentically, and people, you never know who it's going to relate to or help. And so that's really what this is about, is being able to connect with other people. And I think about that when I write my posts. I think if this can help even just one person, you know, knowing where I was before and how horrible that was, and it makes me like want to cry thinking about other people in that spot. You know, when I write that post, that's what I'm feeling whenever I write it. I am thinking about that person that, you know, where I was, and all I wanted to know was that it could be different. All I wanted to know was that there was hope, a chance for something different. And so, you know, other people are watching you, and you have that to offer them. So, you know, enjoy that and capture, record, share authentically, and yeah, and love it, because it is a blessing we have this. So just to kind of recap here, the journey of our lifetime. Oops. Don't read the book Your Overnight Holiday Trip, because that's not it. But down at the bottom there, you are a leader. So number one, like I said before, you are the leader. You're the one that gets to choose where you're going. So again, just knowing and being true to you, choosing your destination, literally anywhere you want to go, anything you want to do, you do it. Fuel and refuel. So that's going to be super important of what octane level you are fueling your business with, your mind with, your body with, and refuel often. So that's going to, again, this can, just like our fitness journey, it's so important to be true to your body, really listen to your body. And like the cool thing with this journey is you're going to feel it. You're going to feel something's off. And I know, like with Michelle, I love that about you already, because you can tell immediately, and you're just like, nope, you know exactly what you need, and you do it. And I think that's so cool. And as in our business, we can do the same. Like, we're gonna know. You have that feeling. You have that feeling when you know that you're on target, and you can be honest with yourself and be like, you know what, my effort is not matching the goals that I want. If I want to be at 6 figures, am I putting in the effort to be at 6 figures? I think about it like, if my if my coaches did exactly what I did, would they be successful? And so every day I put that much effort in because I know where I want to be. And so I have to match that. So they have to, your energy needs to match your destination. Pick travel buddies. So this is the fun part. Find your travel buddies, find people that you want to work with, and match your energy, because that's what I love about this team, is so full of energy. And so it's like so fun. I know, Gabe, you mentioned last night, you're like, it's so hard to try to fall asleep after one of these calls. And it's like, I just look at Gabe's photos and like the energy radiates through the computer. So this is definitely a team full of energy, and I love that. So picking up travel buddies, success partner, write that down, pen and paper. If you have that, make that a goal to find somebody, because that's going to be really critical. You know how accountability is with the fitness journey. Same thing with your coaching journey. Accountability is critical. Use your gear. So like I said, we have the best gear to climb the highest mountain, but it's no good if we keep it in our bags, right? And so it's so important to strap that on, use it, go out there in the trenches, get dirty. But yeah, use your gear. So get in the online office, explore, have fun in there. Use the FAQ, ask questions. It's 24/7, ask questions, ask us. And YouTube it. Like, I know when I first started, and I still do this, I probably watch about 3 to 4 a day. And just I have these headphones in everywhere I'm walking, Walmart, wherever, just listening to different YouTubes, different trainings, different whatever, and just like, a sponge, because it's going to really help and fuel your business. Create a scrapbook. So that's basically like capturing everything and just have fun with it. So I think of that scrapbook as like something to be present in the moment and just appreciate the journey. So keeping a scrapbook, meaning track where you are now, and 3 years from now, you'll be looking back and you'll be like, oh my gosh. So just really remembering and taking these memories and not getting too caught up in, the mountain may seem so far away or so high, but just capturing each part of this. Like, even like just right now, like, I love this part of it, getting to see you guys and getting to be, together with like-minded people, and like just really enjoying the process. And as you create your own teams and you do that, like, just thinking back, like, it's just so much fun. So really create that scrapbook and really, take it all in and just really enjoy the view. And so that last part, when you get to the top of the mountain, like, it's going to be, even where you are right now and you look back at where you were, it's already so amazing. So like, you just think about how that all just adds up, and knowing that it's going to be worth it. So the same with your fitness journey, it's going to be worth it. And so when you are getting in that hard workout, when you're doing moves that make you want to cry and you're just like, like, it's the same thing, because, Michelle, I remember, I'm using you a lot tonight. When you, like, 2 weeks in, you were just like, you just were like, this program, frustrated, and it's so awesome, because I remember you telling me, you're like, this is about the time normally where I would just be like, no, this just isn't for me. And it's like hearing you today and seeing those photos, and just, it's not even about the photos, which are awesome, because that I knew would just happen. Like, I know that's a natural process of, eating healthy and exercising, but your mental game and like what you add and like how strong you are, and the things that you are supporting, encouraging others. And that I read down through your posts, and like how you will say, you will say about what happened that day, but then you will like turn it and be like, but I'm so glad, like, you turn it and it's almost like you're looking at it from an outside perspective, and you can see how valuable it is, and like how this is going to make me stronger. And this is like, and it's so cool, because not everybody can do that, and you have that. So it's just really neat to be able to, just enjoy. So the same thing, fitness journey, coaching journey, there's going to be points, flat tires, run out of gas,
Run out of time.
run out of time. We have 1 minute. So you're going to have that. Flat tires, run out of gas. But just remember, it's a journey. And so, yeah, I'll stop. Any questions? That is the last. Oh, no, it's not the last slide. This is the last slide. Okay. So that view, though, like I was talking about, looking back and being so thankful that you took that first step. So congratulations, Michelle, because you are doing that. Yeah, yeah. And yeah, so, okay. Now we have 30 seconds. But yeah, Michelle, I'm going to get you added into the team page, and we have a call each week, but it's different times. So, Gabe, anything?
No, I think we try to maybe do Thursday next week again.
Yeah, let's shoot for Thursday at 7.
Yeah, and then if you get anyone interested in coaching, Wednesday at 7.
Wednesday at 7 is the coach sneak peek. So, Michelle, I'm running one of those behind the scenes then, too. You can invite people to.
Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time. Not my mountain time.
Happy
All right.
Valentine's Day.
I love you. Yes, I love you guys. Thanks so much for hopping on. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
See ya.